This Breeders' Cups picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. Bet $100 at WynnBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet to claim your free bet today.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy. You're listening to SGP. Wait, hold on. Say it again. Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Woo! Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Oh, did you see those beautiful XFL logos, Sean? Classic was untouched. Shout out to the Roughnecks.
Kramer rocking the Roughnecks in the XFL.
How did I get it so quick, Sean? How did I get the new logo so quick?
Or XFL, yes, XFL, yes. USFL, all the spring leagues.
PJ Walker, shout out PJ.
Dude, he's playing well for the Panthers.
Longest pass tracked by air yard since they started tracking it in 2016. 68 yards in the air.
That was, dude, that throw to DJ Moore. Here we are, Ryan, talking football. This is not, and we will break down the trade deadline on our next NFL episode, but we are here to talk ponies. We're here to talk horse racing. We're here to talk about the Breeders' Cup.
And learn new words from Malcolm.
I don't have horse racing music, but this felt perfect. You can imagine them trotting out the ponies for the Breeders' Cup. Hey.
Are we still in College Station? What's going on here?
We're brought to you as always by WynnBet. Looking to win money? You can do it over at WynnBet. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBet. Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. The excitement of Wynn Las Vegas right to your palm, right in your hands. Oh, so much action. And again, they have the WynnBet Win Hour, again, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. Marquee games with better odds. What could you ask?
Yes, sir.
And again, bet big, win bigger, and get started today over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Offer subject to change, terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where WynnBet is available. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And of course, our jersey giveaway, autograph Brian Dawkins or Lawrence Taylor jersey. All you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube page, comment on a video. Each comment is a chance to win. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss the news that you've won. All right, Ryan, we are going to bring on our horse racing experts. First, you know him as the Wolf of Oaklawn, the host of the Notorious OTB podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Mr. Wolf, what's happening, man?
Snacking on some finger W's. How's it going, folks?
Doing well. And yes, if you
Jameis Winston and Chase are in a class of their own.
Very, yeah, similar breed of folks. Both really love crab legs, willing to go to extremes to get them. You mentioned before the show that I didn't have my horse racing glasses on, that I didn't have my camo hat on, and you said you got to put it back for the mojo because both you and Malcolm, I feel like, have been pretty hot giving out our horse racing picks.
Yeah, I mean, all through the Triple Crown series, I think we had a winner in the Kentucky Oaks. We had the Preakness winner at a good price, and then Malcolm came through to finish off the Triple Crown with the winner in the Belmont. So, I mean, can't mess with a good thing, right?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your commitment to mojo.
I'm gonna say you need to put him in the wardrobe department. Remind Sean when he's not applying the proper juju to an episode.
Well, this man, he's got amazing juju. He's all read up on the Breeders' Cup. You know him from the MLB Gambling Podcast and soon to be launched World Cup Gambling Podcast, Mr. Malcolm Bamford. What's up, Malcolm?
Hello, lovely boys. How you doing?
Doing
nice
great.
to see you.
Yes. Always.
We've been in good form on the horse race, and I think this is my third Breeders' Cup now. It's almost, how many years does something have to go before it's a tradition? Because I think this is now our traditional Breeders' Cup preview show. And yeah, we've been in good form, and Chase came along. We've picked winners, so yeah, there's definitely a mojo, juju, that kind of thing going on. So yeah, let's keep it strong.
Keeping it strong.
And that I didn't even remember that horse racing just powered on through COVID.
Yes. Well, the horses can't get it. And, well, they all had ivermectin was really available in the horse racing, so they were able to take care of it. Now, Malcolm, I always love your sayings. One we picked up, I think it was on the MLB Gambling podcast, but you were talking about that you were like a bird during a solar eclipse. You had no idea which way to turn, or so. I'm probably butchering it, but it was an amazing expression. Now, is that an actual English expression, or is this just you being the character Malcolm coming up with your own lines?
No, I think we were talking about the. It was the first day in the MLB playoffs where there was no baseball, because we've ground out the baseball since April the 1st. And I woke up and your body's ready for it. You're right, come on, let's break down these people from Cincinnati and Oakland that no one's ever heard of. They're like people in Cincinnati and Oakland haven't heard of them. And then you get the first day, and if you ever seen a bird in an eclipse, I mean, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what to do. Why would they? All of a sudden, everything they know to be right and true is disappeared. That's what I was like on the first day. There was no playoff baseball. So I think it's a line from a song, which a lot of my terrible patter is, I'll be honest with you. We discussed this in Vegas about my love for the old country songs. And yeah, I think like a bird in an eclipse is a line from there. But it felt appropriate at the time, and I'm glad you picked up on it, Sean. It shows you're listening.
Oh, yeah. Big fan of Malcolm's work. Cousin Mush in the chat saying he hasn't cashed a ticket since Circa. So that is we're talking NFL week 1. So it's been a cold streak, unfortunately, for Cousin Mush. But here we are, rocking and rolling. The Breeders' Cup 2022 is at Keeneland. What should we know, Malcolm, about Keeneland? I know there's a bunch of races. We're going to hit on obviously the biggest one and a couple of these other ones, but any big picture takeaways from Keeneland for the Breeders' Cup?
Keeneland's Chase will probably know more than me, being more locally in Kentucky, but I think it's a pretty fair track. Quite tight. Some of the races, the 5 furlong races, and over 1 turn, and the 1 mile races around 2 turns are the things that can kind of catch the Europeans out. Because if we're going 5 furlongs, we're going in a straight line. So the left hand down the 1 turn thing often suits the American horses a little bit better. As I think Chase will probably tell you, that there's always this split in that the Americans win the turf horses and win the turf races, and the Europeans will come across. Sorry, the Americans will win the dirt races. The Europeans will come across and they'll farm the turf races. And I think the Europeans had 4 winners last time. Last year, Breeders' Cup, that was at Del Mar last year. 4 wins on the turf. So yeah, we'll be coming across with an army trying to hoover up some of those turf prizes this time.
Chase, just speak on the turf difference. But I before we get to that, one logistical question: do they just put the horses on a big boat? Like, how do they actually get these horses from England? Or do horses fly in planes? What am I?
You obviously haven't heard of Air Horse One yet.
Oh, really?
I know Air Horse One works domestically. When you have horses flying in from like California, they put them on Air Horse One. But yeah, they fly them from over to Dubai, across the pond from England over here. Yeah, they put them on a plane. Hopefully they get sky loose. They feed it about 3 gallons of whiskey and just let it, enjoy the flight.
Oh man, the visual of like, do they have like a little feed bag on the tray table that they like flip down for the horse? The visual of a horse on a plane is just very hilarious to me. All right, so about
just hanging with its arm out the window, like. Sir, please put your tray table down.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past people. I mean, they have like Great Danes on planes now. I mean, I imagine he's got his own special to Horse Force One. Destroying
laboratory smoke detectors. Just a bunch of hooligans coming over from Europe.
Just him going nuts. I love it. All right, so any big takeaways?
Wait, hold on.
Are you Googling Air Horse One?
Yeah, I'm Googling just how they transport them. Apparently,
do they knock?
You got to be really careful about feeding them too much, or you can have.
God, yes.
I mean, it reminds me of the time I had to emergency land in Kansas City because a large dog shit all over the place. So much so they ran out of cleaning supplies.
It made
That's
national
why we had to
news.
stop, and it made national news. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they basically just throw them on a special plane. I think I'm picturing basically like those trailers you see on the freeway with the horses' head sticking out the window, but on a plane. So probably not all that.
I'm
exciting.
googling Tex Sutton, who is one of the Air Horse One transport guys. All right, enough about flying horses. What kind of horses does this track favor, Chase?
Well, when you're looking at the main track, aka the dirt track, it's typically, as of right now, it's really favoring horses that want to be up on the front, kind of setting the early pace, and that's just kind of a traditional Keeneland bias. Which on the dirt, you really want to be up towards the front because it's really hard to make up ground late. Right now, being towards the rail also not so great. You want to be a couple paths out, especially whenever you hit the stretch. On the turf, they right now they're racing on the turf a little bit sparingly. One, they want to kind of baby it going into the Breeders' Cup, and two, I mean, it's getting towards that time of year where grass starts to die. So they've been, it seems that the turf is playing pretty fair, but I haven't seen, there's not as big of a sample size for the turf races.
Got it. Yeah, no, it is interesting that split between the European and American horses. First race.
Europeans don't like getting dirty.
Yeah, they're the fancy horses.
Soft.
They
play tennis.
I will tell you, the vast majority of their tracks over there are on the turf. Like that. That's just what they do. So
they're more used to
it. Sean, they play tennis on grass over there. I mean,
that's insane. Breeders' Cup Juvenile Friday, race 9. Typically, good indicator for who could win the Kentucky Derby. Cave Rock is the favorite, trained by Bob Baffert. Chase, what are your thoughts on this race? Do you like rocking the favorite here? Are you gonna go off the beaten path?
So the favorite looks very strong. Cave Rock. It's a horse that is going to run very fast on the front end, like you typically want. However, you have this issue here of there's way too much speed in this race. It's going to cause a epic pace meltdown is what I'm picturing. And so I'm kind of going away from the favorite, and I'm using the number 4 Forte, who's 4-1 on the money line. Ooh. It's a Todd Pletcher horse for Mike Rapoli and his blue and orange silks, which this horse is really trending up, should be able to get off of the have plenty of pace to run into. And whenever I had Ren Carruthers on the Notorious OTB, she's a pedigree whiz. This horse is sired by Violence, who belongs to the 1X family. Think of 1X as a last name, basically. So you can track that lineage, that 1X last name, and it's produced a ton of juvenile Breeders' Cup winners.
Right. Interesting note. I was also sired by Violence. Parents got into a big fight, decided to make things up. Next thing you know, Sean Green bored.
Eagles fans in the early 80s.
I was sired by boredom. So
there you go. One or the other. What about you, Malcolm? Any takeaways here on the Breeders' Cup Juvenile? The race. This is a Friday race, by the way.
Race 9.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've gone off script here. What I've done is I'm going to bounce around a little bit. Sorry to throw you a curveball.
Oh, it's all right.
I can't say past the favourite in that one, but I picked up a lot of the Euro shippers to try and give you the alternative view. So we go to race 6 on the Friday here, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. We're looking at a horse which is a bit of a homer play for me. The horse is called the Platinum Queen, which is trained in Yorkshire. I can be in Yorkshire in about 45 minutes. Bishop Farley, who was a no-nonsense Yorkshireman, the most miserable race of people on earth they are. But he's got this horse called the Platinum Queen, which is a 2-year-old, and she's been really good. She won the Prix l'Abbé, which is a big race in Paris at Longchamp on the same day as the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. She won on soft going there. She's done really well. She's proved to be versatile in terms of running style. She's versatile in terms of ground. She's won on soft going, but I don't think we're going to see any soft going this weekend. Me and Chase spoke last week. The weather looks okay. He's shaking his head there. So the ground's going to be firm, but that's not a huge problem for her. She's had 7 races. She's learned really quickly, and she's ridden by Holly Doyle. Holly Doyle is the absolute darling of British racing at the moment. She's shattering glass ceilings left, right, and centre, just carrying all before her for women in sport and women in horse racing. She's part of a power couple as well. She's married to a jockey over here, and this poor bloke gets interviewed every time.
Is that like when
every time he comes in, he's.
I was just gonna say, is that like Amon-Ra St. Brown when he married specifically to come up with great athletes? Oh yeah, Amon-Ra's dad, and now he's got 2 kids in the
power jockey coming.
NFL. Yeah, power jockey. Is it going to be like even a smaller person, because these jockeys are always super small, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're going to breed an whole army of tiny professional
tiny jockeys.
People.
I like it.
But yeah, he gets interviewed whenever she's beating him. They always go and stick a microphone in his face, and he has to pretend that he's not that bothered when he's clearly very bothered. Like he's called Tom Walkon, but Holly Doyle's absolutely brilliant as well. She's really, really good. So she's going to take this ride. So that horse is trading around 2-1. That's race 6, which is the BC Juvenile Turf Sprint horse called the Platinum Queen. So that's going to be the first one I'll put up.
All right, I like it. Do you have anything else for the Friday races you want to get to, Malcolm, before we slide over to Saturday?
Yes, I believe I do.
Well, while Malcolm's looking that up, important to point out, we are Pletcher guys.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Pletcher knows how to deploy a payload into a horse, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to take care of business.
He fucks with the ass cream, you know.
Arse cream.
Yes, I was going to mention I think we pioneered the use of the word arse on this show last year with regard to the arse cream, and then arse is now a regular feature now after the Green Bay Packers getting all the cheese shoved up their arse.
Yes.
So I feel like you boys have been making me feel at home with the excessive use of the word arse. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf is the other race. Is all the 2-year-olds. They bring all the juvenile horses out, and there's a horse here called Silver Knot, which race is KNOTT.
So this is race 10 on Friday. Race 10. You're talking about Silver Knot, and we'll put out.
So you'll be.
We'll get together with the social guys and get you guys nice rate. Make sure we get out a nice card on social media at Gambling Podcast. We'll retweet it so people can
if you're driving, maybe don't try to understand and write down Malcolm's picks all at the same time. Just wait,
sit back and enjoy.
We'll hook you up later.
So you like Silver Knot in the Friday race 10.
Yeah, you'll be familiar with the connections there. Godolphin, which are the huge Emirate-based operation. Charlie Appleby, the trainer. William Buick, the jockey. Classic combo in the royal blue colours. Horses trading around at plus 150. Won a good race over here called the Solario Stakes at Sandown Park. Travels really well. It's a really strong travelling horse. 3 for 5, up to a mile. The only thing with the British horses is at this time of year, sometimes, especially the younger ones, our season kind of runs April through to October, and then they'll put them away for the winter. This is Northern Europe. It's quite a cold climate. And they'll go over the top. They start growing their winter coat, for example. The last horse we talked about, the Platinum Queen, I've already talked about having to clip it. They're going to have to give it a little haircut because it's starting to look a bit wintry. So if they've gone over the top, that's a possible worry. But Silver Knot, there's not much opposition in here. Chase might have to vouch for me on this, but the favourites around about 7-8, the second or third favourite. So there's not an awful lot of alternatives. So Silver Knot looks a good thing, and it's a nice plus money price, I think.
Yeah, plus 150 is said there for Silver Knot.
We got to start using that at the bar. That lady looks a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good line. What about Chase? What about you? Any other picks you want to weigh in for the Friday slate before we slide over to Saturday?
I mean, I will second both the turf horses that Mal threw out. He came on the show last week. I've dug into these because he made me pay attention to them, and just doing the replay work, looking at the kind of turf that they're going to run over, because they've been coming from running in France where the ground is incredibly soft. Now they're coming back to firmer turf and should really run very well on it.
I mean, I almost want to type silver knot into Urban Dictionary, but I'm scared to see what comes out, so we can move. We can move along.
Can hurt you. Sometimes penetration can hurt you.
It's all right. It's what a gray-haired man gives you an Indian burn. Is what a silver knot is.
Oh, there you go. Well, Indian burn. He kept it PG.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
That's great.
Moving over to the Breeders' Cup Distaff. I'm most certainly pronouncing that wrong. Saturday.
No, you got it. Nailed it.
Oh, well, there you go. Saturday race 9, fillies and mares, 3 years old and up. Chase, what's your take on this? I know Nest is the favorite at 9-5 right now. 1-3 straight in New York. But what's your take on this race?
I mean, Nest is your most logical, but I actually like an outside shot that kind of fits the track bias profile that we talked about on the Durf, which is you want a horse that's going to be out towards the front, running on the lead, and that's the 8 Society for Stephen Asmussen with Florent Giroux, the French Strangler, up. This horse is very much kind of like the horse of now. That's just been trending up, as opposed to a lot of the horses that she's running against, who have all had this like really established resume. This horse just is kind of on the rise, has won 5 for 6. You really can't argue with that. And if the horse can take another step forward, like it did in the Cotillion at Parks in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, if that translates over, I mean, this horse is probably going to get forgotten on the tote. You probably get a much bigger price than the 6-1 that Society's getting today.
I mean, I'm on board for a 6-1 dog anytime, and I like the I like that sired by Gun Runner. Always appreciate that. Good pedigree.
Sean's a gun guy.
Yeah.
This version. Of
Oh
Sean.
yeah, with these glasses on, big firearms guy. What about you, Malcolm? Any plays here for race 9?
Yeah, a bit boring. I can't get away from Nest. Unfortunately, it looks like a bit of a match to me. Or it looks like a match to most people between Nest and Malathite. And I'll probably be taking Nest. I mean, that might just be one. There's a couple of races on this card which might just be a watch only. I'm going to make my next pick. I'm going to go to race 6, which is the Breeders' Cup filly and mare 2.
Like it.
And my pick, there's a couple in here that I like. And I've actually, since I spoke to you, Chase, yesterday, I've kind of been seduced by another one of these in the field here. My initial pick was Nashua. Round about a 2-1 shot. A Frankel horse trained by John Gosden. Another Holly Doyle runner. Horse is 4 for 7. Has won 2 Group 1s. Won the French 1,000 guineas at Chantilly. Chantilly, if my Babbel app has got my pronunciation correct there. Overcame a bad draw last time. Was beaten on the Arc de Triomphe Day by a 66-1 shot. Came and ginned it right at the end, but it beat everything else in the race. Was a little bit unlucky. So I quite like Nashua, but the one that seduced me a little bit is a horse called Tuesday, which just wasn't suited by that heavy ground at all. Wasn't interested. Didn't want to know. I think this is going to be much more up her street here. Tuesday is round about 8-1 in this race. I think those two will chase each other home. Which order, I don't know. But yeah, Nashua. But Tuesday at a big price, because a lot of my picks were a little bit chalky. So I'll throw in this 8-1 shot Tuesday.
Tuesday, 8-1.
I don't know. Have you ever, again, just nailing it with, didn't want to know. I've definitely been there before. I've walked into a situation and did not want to know.
Hey, okay.
Malcolm's on fire right now. I mean, the picks might be good, but the everything else is fire.
Straight fire. All right. So we talked about race 9, sliding over to race 10. I know Chase has a play here. Breeders' Cup Turf, all males, 3 years old and up. Warlike Goddess is in there. The favorite is Rebel Romance. Chase, I see you here have a pretty big long shot for this race. Saturday race 10 on the turf. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm taking one of the European shippers. This is I believe a Irish horse trained by Aidan O'Brien with Ryan Moore in the irons. The horse's name is Stone Age. It's 15-1 on the morning line. Malcolm will love this. It's a Godolphin horse owned by Godolphin, which means it's going to be wearing the blue silks, but it's the second Godolphin entry, which means it's going to have the white cap with the blue silks. And that's the one that always wins. I love this play at this price. Using thoroughgraphs, I like to use those when you have horses shipping in from all over the place because it kind of stabilizes the figures that you're looking at. Stone Age is actually very competitive on the figures despite the last two efforts. And that was because it ran over very, very soft ground, and the horse likes something a little bit firmer. So I think it's going to translate really well to running on the turf at Keeneland. It's by Galileo, which has plenty of distance in the pedigree, and you really can't fuck with Aidan O'Brien shipping horses over for Breeders' Cup Day. So Mal's on a Aidan O'Brien horse earlier. I'm on one in the Breeders' Cup Turf, but love it at this price. Absolutely love it at this price.
Sean, we're gonna have to get a company subscription to this website. It's like the Football Outsiders of horse racing here.
Like some. I love the deep horse analytics.
Chase is over here normalizing across different turfs. I love it.
It was way out of control on the control chart. Way out of control.
Mal, what about you? I saw you nodding there a little bit with that pick. Are you co-signing that? Do you got anything else you like on the Saturday slate before we get to the classic itself?
Well, Aidan O'Brien will have a couple of winners. He always does. You say he'll bring an army across. His aeroplane will be full of prime horse flesh. And
one horse is going to get stuck in the middle.
Short price as well. We've seen them win at bigger prices. So Chase's picking out at a bigger price wouldn't put you off. In that race, there's a couple. I think Chase quite liked a horse called Rebel's Romance. Which I'm not convinced about at all. I kind of put a line through it. The word I've got written next to that is dour, which might be a little bit unfair on the horse wheel. I don't want to give it a complex, but it's a big horse. It's a big horse.
Why the long face?
I'm actually against it. It was the morning line favorite, but I'm against it because it's coming off of a win off the softer turf, moving back to the firm. But yeah, I'm fade Rebel's Romance.
Okay,
it's a sad horse, but so
it's just a big bit of equipment. In round 2 turns, it takes a while to get organised. Now, up here at Newcastle Racecourse, we've got a straight mile. It can get rolling. It's fine. You can set it off, and it'll build momentum up. It'll come. Round 2 turns, it hasn't got time. It needs time to organise its legs. So I put a line through that one. I really like Nation's Pride in this. It's had 3 runs in the US. It hasn't shipped back. They've actually left it over there, so it's been okay. Warlike Goddess, who that horse is as mad as a tray of tits. She keeps finding trouble all over the place. It's been like a little revolving door on the horse's back in terms of the jockeys. Every jockey who rides it seems to do something wrong on it. So again, I was putting lines to horses left, right, and centre, which left me with Nation's Pride. And I think this might be my bet of the weekend, Nation's Pride in the BC Turf.
Now, Nation's Pride, and you said what was the price for that you're seeing about right now?
7-2 on the morning line here in the US.
7-2, and you said it's crazier than a tray of tits. Did I hear that correctly?
That was Warlike Goddess.
That was
Warlike Goddess is as crazy as a tray of tits. Yeah.
Okay, but Nation's Pride. That's I'm kind of intrigued.
I've never heard that. I've said myself bag of dicks before, but I've never said tray of tits.
I'm kind of I know Malcolm likes Nation's Pride and Chase likes Stone Age, but the horse that's as crazy as a tray of tits, I'll be honest, is kind of.
Did you? I don't know if you heard it, but they're doing a Shanahanian West Virginia retreat style, staying in country, not shipping out and going back. So not dealing with as much road turf or
a bet on Warlike Goddess is a bet for the old US of A, because this is probably our best opportunity for an American horse to actually win a Breeders' Cup turf race, and it happens to be a mare racing against the boys here too.
All right, and maybe I'll do a small little sprinkle there on Warlike Goddess. All right, we're gonna get to the picks for the Breeders' Cup Classic itself. Before we get to that, shout out to Rocket Money. Oh man, I got the credit card. You set it up on auto pay, and then you don't think about it. Next thing you know, all these subscriptions are just auto charging you. You don't even use them anymore. You know, it's Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, who knows? Like there's a lot of things that are probably charging you right now that you don't use. Most people think they only spend like $80 a month. The average is closer to 200, AKA there's some savings. Rocket Money is awesome. Honestly, it shows you all your subscriptions, and then you can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. I'm sure there's some for everyone. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/SGPN. Could save you hundreds. I mean, maybe even hundreds a month, depending on. I mean, you know how they get you, right? Like, hey, free trial, and then you forget to cancel the free trial. They keep billing you. You forget you even have it. Rocketmoney.com/SGPN. Cancel all those subscriptions. Get more money to bet on the Breeders. Rocketmoney.com/SGPN. And our buddy Malcolm over there mentioned Babbel. Babbel is great for learning a new language. I'm going to use it to learn English, the language Malcolm speaks, but you can use it for anything: Spanish, French, Italian, German. My wife is almost fluent in Spanish just from doing stuff like Babbel. And then once you get going with these 10-minute lessons, you actually start talking to people. You can really communicate with someone in another language. It's totally fun and easy to get started. They have a 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, I'm sure you're gonna like it. Right now, get up to 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/SGP. That's BABBEL.com/SGP for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life.
Sean, I have to be honest. I feel like we need to do some sort of parody video where whether it's we're teaching horse speak as the language, or it's just Malcolm doing anything.
Yes,
I feel like there's something there. All right.
More Malcolm, as always. Down for that. Hey, now we're talking about the Breeders' Cup Classic on Saturday, race 11. It's 3-year-olds and up. Again, Fightline is a massive favorite, 3-5 on the money line. He's been dominating as of late. But let's see, Malcolm, where are you at with the Breeders' Cup Classic itself here? Race 11. Who do you like? Are you going chalky here? Do you like some long shot stuff?
Yeah, it's not a very big field, and Flightline's scared off a lot of the opposition. And if you watch it, we talk about things passing the eye test. We a couple of years ago had a horse in this country called Frankel, which was the most impressive thing to look at. It was attracting racegoers just to come and see the thing without necessarily betting on it, because it was always so prohibitively priced. And Flightline sort of becoming the US equivalent of Frankel, in that every time, if you watch the end of the race, there's not another horse in shot. It looks like it's doing a solo workout because everything else is 27 lengths that way. And it's absolutely incredibly impressive. Now, last time we talked about finding money in the street. If you can get a price of -150 about this horse, this is kind of like finding money in the street. I mean, it's not a working man's price, but I've got it in my local book here at -160. So this is one of the races where you do have to look to put other stuff in with it. The interesting thing here is, I think when a lot of novices are handicapping horse races, they're then thinking, okay, which is the second best horse, which is going to chase it home? That's not necessarily what you're looking for, because the other jockeys can ride either two ways. They can ride to try and beat Flightline. If they do that, they're going to fall in a hole down the straight because they'll have gone too hard. Or they race for second place, knowing that they're not going to catch Flightline. So there's a horse in this race called Life Is Good. It's going to be the speed. Life Is Good is going to try and take Flightline out of it. That's not going to work. In which case, Life Is Good is the horse that's going to fall in a hole down the stretch. So you can put the Smudge of Doom next to Life Is Good. We can get rid of that one. There's only 8 horses in the race. Epicenter is one that can pick up the pieces. So we're looking here for horses to chase Flightline home effectively. Epicenter can chase Flightline home. And then I know you like throwing numbers and trifectas and stuff out. So my third horse, I'm going to put up a horse called Taiba, which is a 14-1 shot. So they would be my 3. Flightline over Epicenter over Taiba. The main handicap here being that Life Is Good is going to go off too hard. And that disappearing off view is going to make the price and make the race for the other 3. But yeah, Flightline by a mile, and then whatever you follow it home.
I have a real quick.
Yes.
Actually, I'll go. Let Chase go, and then I'll share my
we'll
fun
chime in
nugget.
with some amateur opinions. Chase, a lot of head nodding during Malcolm's picks. Where are you at with Flightline and any sort of long shot stuff you like?
You know how Kramer is a dog, how you refer to NFL players as dogs.
Yes.
This horse is a people. It is a people. This is a just unfuckwithable horse, quite honestly. It's won its last 5 races by a combined 61 lengths. It's looks like just a once in a generation horse. And honestly, what my buddy Mal here said, he got the pace picture completely right. Life is Good has never been beaten to the lead. He's going to be hard sent for it. He's going to try to outduel Flightline, and he's going to fade probably completely out of the picture. The best way to get value out of this is to do what Mal did, what I'm going to do, which is to key Flightline in first in a trifecta and then start peppering in horses underneath. So for me, in second place, I'm going to use Hot Rod Charlie, Epicenter, and then Kentucky Derby winner Rich Strike.
Yeah.
And then in third, I'm going to use Taiba, Hot Rod Charlie, Epicenter, Olympiad, and Rich Strike. If Happy Saver doesn't quit and Flightline and them link up and somehow this goes fucking Chernobyl nuclear meltdown pace, it'd be worth maybe sprinkling a little bit on Rich Strike to win.
I love that.
Hashtag Legends Only.
I always waste money just boxing everything with these stupid things, and I love that he showed me how to do it in a more effective way.
Instead of boxing Flightline, lock Flightline in at number 1, and then just
throw some
essentially
other stuff in.
Yeah. Okay.
Sean, also the jockey for Flightline will be wearing like old school Eagles green and white.
Really?
Really? These guys can confirm.
The green or white of Ronus Racing. Yep.
So, if
Kelly Green throwbacks,
if you didn't need another reason, also for the TMZ Breeders' Cup / horse racing fan like us, Sean, the last 2 times the Breeders' Cup was in here in Keeneland, it went on to win the Kentucky Derby as well. And then American Pharoah also went on to win the Triple Crown.
Ooh.
So, which I think is the only time that someone has won the Breeders' Cup Classic and won the Triple Crown. Obviously, that's a small sample set, but
yeah, I think you're right, because I mean, you have American Pharoah. I think before that, I don't think you even had a Breeders' Cup going back to the last trip, and then Justified didn't run in the Breeders' Cup Classic. I don't think. Maybe.
So from a trends perspective, maybe Sean, we look to play Flightline as the Derby winner now, before he catches on to the public squares who are going to watch the Breeders' Cup and then realize this is the horse we should bet on.
So Flightline will not be running in next year's Kentucky Derby because he is currently a 4-year-old. He will be a 5-year-old next year, so he'll be 2 years too old. And also, if this horse wins, you'll never see him race again.
Just gonna be fucking, huh? I should have run this by Chase first.
Yeah.
I should have run this by the guys first.
That's
it was
why we
smart.
have the experts.
It was so smart, and then he came up with a pin and popped my fucking.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Tybia is your winner of the 2022 Breeders' Cup Classic. Bob Bamford horse. I like it, but everything they're doing, the combo stuff with Flightline, it all sounds great. But Tybia is my horse friend.
Hey Malcolm, has bending over and picking money up off the street ever hurt you?
Not that I can remember. No, Ryan.
I am not going to disagree with that, man.
No, I also like doing the boxes and that kind of stuff.
Nope.
But
mortgage payment on the horse.
I got to throw one little dog here. What about any other picks that you guys have that you haven't gotten to? Chase, I see you have a pick 3 you like here. Walk people through that guy.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's going to be the three races that we talked about for Saturday, which is going to be the Distaff, the BC Turf, and then the Classic. So I'm going 3 deep in the Distaff race 9. I'm using basically, I'm just going to throw out Nest. I'm not going to defensively use this favorite to inflate the price of my ticket. So I'm going to use 3 horses. The 2 Blue Stripe, who's a long shot that I really like. The 4 Clairiere, who's going to be a horse that's going to be coming from off the pace if the pace gets too hot and a horse can pick up the pieces. And then Society, who's my top pick here, is the wire to wire candidate. So 2, 4, 8 in that race. And the next one, I'm going 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, who is Stone Age, Broom, Rebels Romance, Mishriff, and then just basically for the what the fuck are you doing here angle, the Brazilian horse Nautilus, because a lot of times those what the fuck are you doing here horses sneak up and win. And then I'm singling Flightline in the last one. So if you were to bet that at $1 base, that's a $15 total ticket. Bet it for 10, $150. Boom, you've got all your betting in an hour and a half of fun. Actually, like 3 with how far they space these races out.
Yeah, I mean, again, shout out to the show Luck. There's nothing better than sweating out a pick anything, especially when you hit a couple, right? It's just like a parlay.
Yeah, you're parlaying the morning games with the afternoon games.
I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, baby, 4 teamers sitting pretty. Got a 1 game Sunday night football,
letting it ride. Mal, any other picks you want to give out? Anything you haven't hit on here before we wrap up the Breeders' Cup?
I've got one more here, which is race 8, the Breeders' Cup Mile on this Saturday. The top 2 in the market are both Europeans. Horse called Modern Games, a Godolphin horse, and a horse called Kinross. And I'm going to fade both of those horses. Kinross, I think, wants a little bit further. Wants a little bit shorter. 1 over 6 furlongs. I think she'll get caught by these specialist milers. Modern Games, they shipped back to the UK only 3 weeks ago to try and steal some prize money. The horse got beat on heavy going, and I think that'll just still be in his legs by the time he's shipped back again. So I'm not sure Modern Games will be at 100%. So if you put a line through those 2, you then get to a horse called Annapolis, which is a progressive 3-year-old. The horse is 8-1. I think there's value in this race because, like I say, the top 2 are making the market for the Europeans, and I'm not keen on them. So give me Annapolis at 8-1. And that's race 8, the Breeders' Cup Mile.
All right, and love it.
I'm going to give you one more, and this is specifically for you, Sean. It is the big ass fans, Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. We are looking at number.
Now, Big Ass Fans, that actually is a fan company that's sponsoring.
Yeah,
this.
that makes Big Ass.
Yes, okay,
fans,
yeah. Just to clarify,
number 9, the horse is guaranteed to be sneaking up from behind, hitting all those pleasure spots. We talk about the Taint Samurai.
Oh yeah,
Cyberknife.
Love that.
9-2.
9-2. Cyberknife is an all-time.
Sean loves Cyberknife.
Oh, it's great. It's the greatest horse name of all time. Cyberknife. Are you kidding?
Just recently at a party where I was working, a gentleman, that's what he uses. He was a surgeon and he used the word cyberknife in a sentence. And then I just started talking bollocks at him about this horse. And he's kind of just slowly reversed away from me. But yeah, that was the first time I'd heard it in a sentence, like apart from us talking rubbish together. So yeah, it's
so
definitely a real thing because I met a man.
He's the Taint Samurai Sensei.
Yeah, no, they actually use it on get rid of prostate dollops, right? Or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Well,
beautiful.
Thank you guys so much. Another classic Breeders' Cup classic podcast. Of course, a big thanks to the Wolf of Oaklawn. Give him a follow on Twitter @of Oaklawn. Check out his podcast, the Notorious OTB. And of course, Malcolm as well. You know him from the MLB Gambling Podcast. Going to be doing World Cup picks for us on the newly launched World Cup Gambling Podcast coming soon. Follow him on Twitter as well @Mal_B_sport. Catch him there. Again, remember, subscribe to the channel, comment on a video, live comments. You actually have to comment on the posted video there. Turn the notifications on for your chance to win an LT or Brian Dawkins autograph jersey.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
Did you know Keeneland is a national historic landmark, Sean?
Kramer, let it ride. Awesome, guys.
Yep. Not just a derogatory thing.